Good morning, togglers. Today we're going to take a look at Carvana and why it could rise as much as 13% over the coming weeks. After, as you can see here, Toggle actually has sent a number of positive insights for this particular name, which has been really in a very, very strong momentum-driven trend for quite some time now. So let's go take a look and see what the latest momentum insight is actually saying. And in this case, actually, why it might move, it shows us right here that basically the short-term momentum is currently switching and becoming more positive, but actually the 6-month and 12-month momentum, the 6-month momentum has been a little bit more subdued. And so again, the suggestion here is that it could potentially turn around, and after a recent bit of consolidation, the stock could rise again. Now, what would that look like if the stock were to rise after this little bit of consolidation that recently that through a bit of a breakout? Well, the stock price would go from about 370 to 408.36, but what you want is over this 1 month horizon, you don't want the stock price to drop below 350.97, because then presumably this streak, momentum streak, driven streak, might be in jeopardy, and potentially something else is actually driving the stock. Now, there have only been 5 similar occasions that Toggle was able to analyze, and so there is definitely a bit of a caveat on this insight as to how seriously you really are able to take it. The target rate obviously is quite attractive, but the reality is that if you look at some of these past episodes, everything has been concentrated sort of over the last couple of years. So again, this is an example of an insight that confirms that the stock is still in a bullish trend, but certainly isn't something that should result in changing your view or position substantially. For example, if you've missed out on the move, this is not the time to necessarily get in. And if, on the other hand, you have been looking to take profit, then potentially you might give yourself another couple of days, but again, it should not necessarily change that decision dramatically. Now, what does past performance look like? Actually, again, here we don't have a huge amount of data, but broadly, the outcomes have been positive. You can see that actually the outcomes are clustered here around 6% or above. And so, again, the outlook for the stock does appear to be still positive in the near term, but it's a name you definitely should watch out for to see whether or not at some point this momentum starts to weaken a little bit more seriously. So much for Carvana today. In the daily brief, we also discussed the recently passed infrastructure bill that the Senate has finally passed after long deliberations. And now, of course, it needs to pass the House, but it does look like there are some things there to unpack. And so we do that for you in the daily brief. If you subscribe to it, it should already be in your mailboxes. And if not, you can subscribe easily on toggle.global for a daily dose of market relevant content whose sole aim is to really create that spark and potentially generate that trading idea for you. Otherwise, if you like these videos, please like this one or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We try to do them every trading day, really take this ocean of fundamental data and try to let you know how it might impact holdings that you actually care about, and map these changes in earnings and analyst expectations and so on into actual impact on stock prices as informed by history, which is what Toggle tends to analyze day in and day out. Thank you for your attention, and we'll see you again tomorrow.